Karma Rental Shop. The holiday nagging villain. For me, the holidays are not a festival but a slaughterhouse. The banquet table set in the middle of the living room was no cozy family dinner. It was a display counter where they cruelly exhibited who was doing well and who had turned out badly. The savory smell of pan-fried John and the rich aroma of braised short ribs filled the whole house, but my throat felt sealed shut, and I could barely swallow. I am a dog groomer. I work as head stylist at a fairly well-known salon in Gangnam, and my work is respected enough that bookings run a month behind. But inside this living room, my career was summed up as cutting dog hair. Looking at my fingers, calloused from a full day of scissor work, my aunt clicked her tongue. "Jisoo, are you still doing that? Washing other people's dogs? I hear machines do all that these days. How will you ever save any money doing work like that? Your mother smiles on the outside, but imagine how she must be burning up inside. Your cousin Yang Cheol got into a big company this year and took home tens of millions in bonuses alone. He's sending his parents to Europe this year. You come home smelling of dog every day. How is your mother supposed to brag about her daughter anywhere?" My aunt said this while dropping a piece of short rib onto my plate as if tossing it. The words were tougher and more bitter than the meat. The eyes of every relative turned on me at once. It was not concern. It was the sour relief of confirming that I stood lower than they did. I bowed my head and hid the calluses on my hands. It was not that I lacked pride in my work. The sense of accomplishment I felt watching those little creatures be reborn at the tip of my scissors could not be traded for anything. But inside the narrow world called family, I was only the inadequate child who went to college and ended up trimming dog hair. "I'm sorry. I still don't earn much. I know I don't give Mom anything to be proud of. There's nothing to be sorry about. I only say these things because I want the best for you. Would I say them if you were a stranger? You're good with your hands, but you know nothing about how the world works. Look at your mother. Do you not see her wearing herself out frying John every holiday, watching my face for approval? If you had a respectable job, she wouldn't have to go that far. You insisting on that dog hair business is bleeding your mother dry. Civil service is the best thing these days. Why don't you start studying for the exam? Even now." Yes, I'm an ungrateful daughter. My mother suffers like this because I have no ability. My aunt is right about everything. She says these painful things because she cares about me. I must have been too selfish. I began, once again, to gaslight myself. My aunt was always like this. She would stab precisely into the tenderest place and then wrap it all up in the paper of family and love. I had to believe her words were true. Only then could I accept the humiliation as education and endure it. My professional skill became lowly menial labor, and my passion became shameless indifference to my parents' pain. Even after the meal, the torture continued. My aunt recited my cousin Yang Cheol's salary and benefits package in detail, like reading off a spreadsheet. Then she glanced at my younger cousin Minji sitting beside me and clicked her tongue. Minji had wanted to study art, but she was pushed by my aunt's realistic advice into a business administration program, never adjusted, and was now on leave from school. Look at Minji. She didn't dig her heels in like you. She listened to me, and she got into a good school. You should be careful too, Jisoo. Someone I know runs a nursing home. Go ask them about a kitchen job or an office assistant position. It would carry far more social standing than cutting dog hair. My cousins snickered and tried to hold in their laughter, and I fled to the backyard wishing I could hide in a mouse hole. A cold wind mixed with sleet struck my cheeks. I crouched in the dark and swallowed my sobs. I could not understand why caring devotedly for a living creature, as a groomer, had to be so despised. But inside the fence called family, I was only a defective part. That was when it happened. Mistaking someone else's twisted inferiority for advice is the same as throwing your own soul out as dog food. A low, dry voice broke the silence. I lifted my head and saw a man standing in the darkness beside the old wall. Tousled brown hair, a beige suit, a well-worn leather bag in his hand. It was Lee Jae-ol. He looked like a phantom that had come through the suffocating air of that house. Who are you? There's no one like you among our relatives. I'm a sales representative. I've come to settle the self-worth you pawned to the prison called family. Settle? I get scolded by my aunt because I'm not good enough. She wasn't wrong. I should be doing more respectable work so my mother can be happy. Is that so? Wouldn't you like to see what nauseating truth that concern your aunt hands you is actually hiding?